Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment that you are called to walk a path unlike any other. A path that is not defined by the ordinary rules of the world, but by a deeper, higher calling. A path that challenges every aspect of who you are and what you know. A journey that requires not just effort, but transformation. You may find yourself questioning your worth, your decisions, and even your place in this world. But what if I told you that this path, though difficult, is precisely the one you are meant to walk? What if the very struggles you face are the building blocks of the greatness that lies ahead of you? Today we are going to talk about the journey of the chosen ones, those who are called to serve a higher purpose, to make a difference in a world that often seems indifferent. This journey is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who are willing to embrace the discomfort, the solitude, and the sacrifices required to fulfill their calling. But in this, there is a profound truth. It is through the trials, the internal struggles, and the very act of walking alone that you will discover your true strength, your true purpose, and the power to impact the world in ways you never imagined. Stay with me as we explore the incredible transformation that takes place when one steps into their higher calling, embracing the challenges and the solitude that accompany it. By the end of this journey, you will understand that the trials you face are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth. And as you walk this path, you will find not just the fulfillment of your purpose, but the peace that comes from living a life true to yourself. End of chapter 6. Let's begin this transformative journey together. Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in life when you feel an unmistakable pull towards something greater, something that sets you apart from the rest. And with that calling often comes a peculiar, perhaps even uncomfortable truth. You cannot walk with the crowd while staying true to your path. The chosen ones, those marked by destiny, burdened with a purpose beyond themselves, are not fashioned for the noise of the world. They are crafted for the quiet, for in the quiet lies their strength. You see, it is not weakness to prefer solitude, it is wisdom. It is not rejection to stand apart, it is alignment with a higher calling. Worry not about the dwindling company around you. It is not evidence of failure, but of refinement. When you are chosen, you are called to live differently. You are set apart not because you are better, but because your task requires clarity, focus, and above all, strength. Qualities that are best forged in stillness, not in the crowd's clamor. "Let me explain," said he. "When the Baran called to you in the temple of justice, the world will often misunderstand you. It will call you distant, aloof, or even strange, but do not let that discourage you. It is not the crowd's understanding you seek, it is the understanding of the one who calls you. It is his approval that matters, his voice that must guide you, and his purpose that you are here to fulfill." Why then, you ask, does this calling seem to isolate you? Because the weight of a chosen path is not something the world can carry with you. The chosen ones walk with burdens only they can bear, with visions only they can see. Their footsteps tread upon a path invisible to others, a road less traveled, and often a road traveled alone. But take heart, for solitude is not emptiness, it is a sanctuary. It is in the stillness of being alone that the soul is quieted, where the whispers of divine guidance are heard most clearly. It is here that strength is forged and purpose refined. You do not need the validation of the crowd, for your worth does not lie in their numbers. It lies in your faithfulness to the task set before you. Worry not about pleasing them, for you are not called to fit in. You are called to stand out. So, when you find yourself walking alone, do not despair. Remember, the eagle soars above while the flock gathers below. It is not arrogance that keeps the eagle aloft, it is its nature. And so, too, is it your nature to rise, to separate, to ascend. In the end, let us remember this. The chosen ones are not chosen because they are perfect, but because they are willing. Willing to walk the lonely road, to carry the unseen burden, and to trust the invisible hand guiding them. The chosen one carries a unique purpose, a profound calling that sets them apart from the rest. This purpose, unlike ordinary ambitions, is not self-imposed but bestowed, often from a force beyond human comprehension. It is as though an invisible hand has written their destiny and etched it deep within their soul. This purpose is not always easily understood, even by the one who carries it. It is weighty, demanding, and often isolating, for it requires the chosen one to live and move differently from those around them. The weight of this purpose is not something that can be shared with the many. It is a burden tailor-made for the individual who has been called. While others may walk through life sharing their goals, joys, and struggles with those around them, the chosen one often finds that their path is too peculiar, too specific to be carried alongside others. This is not arrogance or superiority. It is simply the nature of their calling. Their purpose requires a depth of focus, resilience, and introspection that thrives in solitude, away from the distractions and expectations of the crowd. This weight often brings with it a sense of separation from the ordinary flow of life. While others find comfort in companionship and collective understanding, the chosen one may feel a persistent gap between themselves and the people around them. They may struggle to articulate their vision or the fire burning within them, and even when they do, it often falls on ears unprepared to grasp its magnitude. This isn't because others lack intelligence or compassion, but because the chosen one's purpose lies beyond the grasp of conventional thinking. The nature of this weight is not purely a burden, it is also a gift. It refines and molds the chosen one into someone capable of fulfilling their mission. The struggles that come with this purpose, misunderstanding, rejection, and loneliness, are not without meaning. They shape the individual, building strength, character, and clarity. The very separation they experience is what allows them to see life from a higher vantage point, to discern truths that others may overlook, and to act with a conviction rooted in something greater than themselves. The weight of purpose also brings with it a deep responsibility. The chosen one understands that their actions are not merely for their own benefit, but for a larger cause, whether it be to inspire, to lead, to protect, or to create. This understanding fuels their perseverance, even when the journey feels impossible. It reminds them that their calling is not about personal glory, but about service to something far greater. Carrying this weight is not easy, but it is meaningful. It requires courage to stand apart, wisdom to navigate the isolation, and faith to trust the path ahead. The chosen one learns over time that the very weight they bear is what prepares them to fulfill the purpose for which they were chosen. And in doing so, they find not only their strength, but their destiny. Solitude is often misunderstood as loneliness, but for the chosen ones, it is an essential phase of their journey. It is not merely a state of being alone, it is a deliberate process of separation meant to refine and prepare them for their higher calling. The chosen ones are not isolated by accident or misfortune, but by design. This solitude is a sacred space where their minds, hearts, and spirits are shaped, stripped of unnecessary distractions, and molded to fulfill the purpose they carry. In solitude, the noise of the world fades away and clarity emerges. When surrounded by the hustle and bustle of everyday life, the chosen one may struggle to hear the still small voice of their purpose. Solitude creates an environment where that voice can rise above the din, guiding them toward their path. It is in these quiet moments that they confront their deepest fears, examine their motives, and uncover the strength hidden within them. This process, though often painful, is what sharpens their vision and strengthens their resolve. The refining nature of solitude is not comfortable, nor is it meant to be. Comfort breeds complacency, but solitude demands growth. It pushes the chosen one to wrestle with questions that many avoid. Who am I? Why am I here? What am I willing to sacrifice for my purpose? These are not easy questions, and the answers often require the chosen one to let go of old identities, beliefs, and attachments that no longer serve them. This shedding is a necessary part of the refinement, for it makes room for the qualities they will need to carry out their mission: courage, resilience, wisdom, and unwavering faith. During this refining process, the chosen one may feel a profound sense of loneliness. They might long for the comfort of companionship or the validation of others, but this longing is a test of their inner strength. True growth often requires walking alone, trusting that the solitude is temporary and purposeful. It teaches the chosen one to rely on something greater than external support, whether that be their faith, intuition, or inner conviction. This period of solitude is also a time of preparation. Just as a sword is tempered in fire before it can be wielded, the chosen one must endure the refining process to emerge ready for their calling. In solitude, they develop the discipline, focus, and self-awareness necessary to navigate the challenges ahead. They learn to distinguish between the essential and the trivial, honing their ability to prioritize what truly matters. Far from being a punishment, solitude is a gift, a hidden blessing that allows the chosen one to become the person they were meant to be. It strips away the superficial and fortifies the core. It is in this stillness that they realize they are not truly alone, for the very act of being chosen implies that they are part of a larger plan, guided by an unseen hand. When the refining process is complete, they emerge, not only stronger, but also ready to fulfill the purpose that was set before them, carrying with them the wisdom gained in the quiet. Those who are chosen for a higher purpose are called to ascend to a level beyond the ordinary, a realm where clarity, conviction, and commitment to their calling can flourish. This elevation is not merely physical or social, but spiritual and mental. It is a journey upward, away from the distractions and noise of the world, into a space where one can commune with deeper truths and profound wisdom. This process of rising to higher realms necessitates separation, as the chosen ones cannot remain tethered to the trivialities and distractions of the crowd, if they are to fulfill their destiny. The call to higher realms is not an easy one to answer. It often comes with sacrifices, relationships, comforts, and the familiarity of ordinary life. Many may question the chosen one's withdrawal or perceive their distance as arrogance or detachment. However, this separation is not born of pride, but of necessity. To hear the voice of a higher calling, one must step away from the chatter of the world. To see the broader vision, one must rise above the limited perspectives that dominate everyday life. The chosen one must learn to walk this path with courage, knowing that not everyone will understand their journey. The pull of the higher realms requires a discipline that few possess, as it often means saying no to what is popular or convenient. The chosen ones are not rejecting people or society out of disdain. Rather, they are embracing a mission that demands their full attention. Their task is not to blend into the crowd, but to stand apart, to rise where others choose to remain grounded. This elevation is not merely for the chosen one's benefit, it is for the purpose they are meant to serve. The higher realms offer a vantage point that the crowd cannot access. From this elevated position, the chosen ones can see the patterns, connections, and truths that are obscured at ground level. This clarity allows them to act with purpose and wisdom, making decisions that are aligned with the greater good rather than fleeting trends or personal gain. However, this ascent is not without challenges. The higher realms can be lonely, as fewer and fewer people accompany the chosen one on their journey upward. The air becomes thinner, the path steeper, and the stakes higher. Yet it is in this space that the chosen ones find their greatest strength. They discover that the higher realms are not empty, but filled with inspiration, guidance, and the presence of something greater than themselves. The call to higher realms is an invitation to trust the process, to embrace the solitude and challenges as part of the preparation for their purpose. It is in these realms that the chosen ones refine their vision, strengthen their character, and prepare to descend once again, not to stay among the masses, but to serve them with the wisdom and insight gained from above. In rising to higher realms, the chosen ones are not abandoning the world, but preparing to fulfill their role within it, guided by a perspective and purpose that only elevation can bring. The world is filled with countless voices, each clamoring for attention, validation, and significance. For the chosen ones, this endless noise presents a unique challenge. Their purpose, often delicate and deeply rooted in higher truths, requires a level of clarity and focus that cannot coexist with the constant distractions of the crowd. The voices of the world, be they opinions, criticism, or even praise, carry the potential to drown out the quiet, steady whispers of divine guidance that direct the chosen one's path. The noise of the world is seductive. It seeks to pull everyone into its rhythm, to convince them that they must always be listening, reacting, and engaging. For the chosen ones, however, this engagement can be perilous. Their mission is often countercultural, requiring them to stand apart and listen to a different voice, a voice that cannot compete with the chaos of worldly distractions. To fulfill their purpose, they must learn to turn away from the clamor and attune themselves to the stillness where truth resides. This is no easy task. The world's noise is persistent, and it can come from every direction: family, friends, society, and even within the chosen ones themselves, in the form of doubts and fears. Yet the path of a chosen one requires discernment, the ability to separate the essential from the trivial, the eternal from the temporary. To hear the voice of their calling, they must quiet the noise, both around and within them, creating space for reflection, prayer, or meditation. The danger of the world's noise lies not just in its volume, but in its inconsistency. It often speaks in contradictions, encouraging conformity one moment and individuality the next. It can praise the chosen one for their courage, while simultaneously demanding they conform to expectations that dilute their purpose. The noise shifts with trends and opinions, making it an unreliable guide for those tasked with a mission that transcends fleeting concerns. For the chosen ones, resisting the pull of this noise is not an act of arrogance, but of necessity. Their calling demands that they prioritize depth over breadth, meaning over popularity. This often requires a willingness to be misunderstood, to say no to what others deem important, and to retreat from the crowd to preserve their focus and integrity. In the silence that follows the decision to disengage from the noise, the chosen ones find clarity. It is in this quiet that the voice of their purpose becomes audible, guiding them with a steady hand. Here they can align themselves with their true calling, unburdened by the shifting expectations of the world. This silence is not emptiness, but fullness, a sacred space where the chosen ones are reminded of who they are and why they were called. Ultimately, the chosen ones must trust that the voice guiding them in the quiet is more trustworthy than the noise of the world. By tuning out the clamor and attuning themselves to this deeper truth, they can walk their path with confidence and peace, knowing they are led by something greater than the fleeting voices around them. Being a chosen one comes with a profound and often overwhelming responsibility to maintain focus on the higher calling they have been entrusted with. This focus, however, is not merely about concentration, it is about protecting the sanctity of their purpose from external distractions and internal doubts. Maintaining focus is not just a skill, but a discipline, requiring the chosen ones to continually align themselves with their mission, even when the world around them seeks to pull them away from it. Distractions are inevitable in life, but for the chosen ones they can be particularly detrimental. The weight of their calling demands clarity and precision, leaving little room for indulgence in the trivial or the superficial. Whether it is the allure of material comforts, the opinions of others, or the temptation to take the easier path, distractions can blur the vision and dilute the commitment of those with a higher purpose. To fail to follow the directions of the Creator, though counterproductive to the rational mind, drupery and distractions can blur the vision and dilute the commitment of those with a higher purpose. To fulfill their calling, they must learn to recognize these distractions for what they are: temporary diversions that can derail a lifelong mission. This focus also requires them to confront their own vulnerabilities. Doubts, fears, and insecurities often arise when the chosen ones face the magnitude of their task. These inner battles can be just as distracting as external temptations, causing them to question their worthiness, capability, or the validity of their mission. However, the chosen ones must understand that these doubts are not signs of weakness, but opportunities for growth. By facing these inner struggles head-on, they can emerge stronger, with a clearer understanding of their purpose and the resilience needed to carry it out. To maintain focus, the chosen ones often need to create boundaries, both physical and emotional. This might mean stepping away from environments or relationships that do not align with their purpose. While this can be painful, it is necessary to safeguard the energy and clarity required to fulfill their mission. These boundaries are not acts of rejection, but of preservation, ensuring that the chosen ones remain true to their calling without being weighed down by distractions. Another critical aspect of maintaining focus is the ability to say no. The chosen ones must prioritize their purpose above all else, which often means turning down opportunities, invitations, or even relationships that do not serve their higher calling. This is not an easy task, as it can lead to misunderstandings or feelings of isolation. However, the chosen ones understand that every no to the world is a yes to their mission, a declaration of their commitment to the path they have been called to walk. Ultimately, maintaining focus is about trust. Trust in the purpose they have been given, trust in the process of their journey, and trust in the unseen hand that guides them. It is a discipline forged in moments of solitude, sharpened by challenges, and sustained by a deep sense of responsibility to something greater than themselves. By staying focused, the chosen ones honor their calling and ensure that they are equipped to fulfill it with integrity, courage, and unwavering determination. The chosen ones are often called to walk a path that feels profoundly unfamiliar, one that diverges from the comfort and familiarity of the collective. This sense of being set apart is not accidental. It is an intentional aspect of their purpose. They are not chosen to blend in, but to bring about transformation, and transformation cannot arise from conformity. This necessity to walk an unfamiliar path often isolates the chosen ones, yet it is essential for their mission and growth. The unfamiliarity of the path is what shapes them. It forces them to navigate uncertainty, to trust in their calling, even when the way forward is unclear. The chosen ones cannot rely on the well-trodden roads of others, for their journey is unique. They are pioneers, forging new ways of thinking, acting, and living. The isolation they feel is not a punishment, but a means of preparation, allowing them to cultivate independence, courage, and the ability to stand firm in the face of opposition. Walking this path often means stepping away from societal norms and expectations. The world values familiarity, seeking comfort in the predictable and the known. But the chosen ones are tasked with disrupting the status quo, challenging what is widely accepted in pursuit of higher truths. This mission requires them to step outside the boundaries of the familiar and venture into the unknown. In doing so, they risk being misunderstood, criticized, or even rejected. Yet, it is in this very act of stepping away that they discover their strength and their purpose. The unfamiliar path is also a place of profound learning. When one walks a road without signposts or clear directions, every step becomes a lesson. The chosen ones must learn to trust their intuition, to listen to the quiet guidance of their inner voice. They must also develop resilience, as the unfamiliar path is rarely smooth or easy. The challenges they face are not obstacles, but opportunities to grow, to refine their character and their commitment to their calling. The isolation of the path can feel overwhelming at times. The chosen ones may long for the companionship and validation of others, but this longing is a test of their resolve. It reminds them that their mission is not about seeking approval or fitting in, but about staying true to the higher purpose they serve. The isolation forces them to rely on their faith, their conviction, and their connection to something greater than themselves. While the unfamiliar path may be lonely, it is not without rewards. It leads the chosen ones to discoveries that cannot be made on familiar ground. It reveals truths that are hidden from those who remain within the confines of the known. And most importantly, it prepares them to guide others, to light the way for those who are still searching for their own path. In the end, the unfamiliar path is not a burden, but a blessing. It is the chosen one's opportunity to grow into the people they were meant to be, to fulfill their unique purpose, and to make a lasting impact on the world. By embracing the challenges and uncertainties of the path, they honor their calling and become instruments of transformation. The chosen ones often find themselves burdened by a sense of isolation, not only because of their path, but also because of the depth and gravity of their purpose. They are set apart for a reason. Their mission requires solitude to refine their vision, discipline their character, and strengthen their resolve. Solitude is not merely a byproduct of their calling, it is an essential element of their preparation. It is in solitude that the chosen ones encounter the profound silence necessary to hear the voice of their higher purpose, untainted by the noise of the world. This solitude, however, is not the same as loneliness. Loneliness arises from a longing for connection, while solitude is a deliberate separation, a sacred space where the chosen ones can focus on the mission entrusted to them. In solitude, distractions fade and clarity emerges. The chosen ones come to understand that their separation is not abandonment, but an opportunity to deepen their connection to the source of their calling, whether that be divine, spiritual, or deeply personal. The chosen one's path often involves the weight of understanding truths that others cannot yet see or accept. This burden sets them apart, as they must carry insights and convictions that might seem strange, threatening, or incomprehensible to those around them. Their vision reaches beyond the immediate and the obvious into realms that challenge the ordinary. To nurture and act upon this vision, the chosen ones must step away from the influences and expectations of the collective, carving out a space where their thoughts and actions can align with the higher calling they serve. Solitude also serves as a crucible for personal transformation. The chosen ones are not exempt from the struggles and imperfections of humanity. Rather, they are called to confront these challenges head-on. Solitude provides the environment for self-examination, where they can wrestle with doubts, confront weaknesses, and refine their character. It is in this space that they learn resilience, patience, and humility, qualities essential for fulfilling their purpose. Solitude strips away distractions and excuses, leaving them face to face with their own humanity and the weight of their responsibility. Yet, solitude is not an eternal state. It is a phase of preparation, a necessary retreat before re-engaging with the world. The chosen ones are not called to remain in isolation forever, but to emerge from it transformed and ready to fulfill their mission. Their time in solitude equips them with the clarity, strength, and wisdom needed to face the challenges ahead. It allows them to serve others more effectively, bringing light and truth into spaces that desperately need it. In the end, solitude is a gift, though it may not always feel like one. It is a space of growth, revelation, and communion with the essence of their calling. The chosen ones come to understand that their separation is not punishment, but preparation, a sacred time to align themselves fully with their purpose. Through solitude, they become vessels of transformation, ready to impact the world in ways that only they can. The chosen ones are often called to exist in a state of paradox. They are deeply connected to the world through their purpose, yet simultaneously detached from its fleeting concerns. This delicate balance between connection and detachment is crucial for their ability to fulfill their mission. It enables them to engage with humanity in meaningful ways without becoming ensnared by the distractions, temptations, and temporary nature of worldly pursuits. Their ability to navigate this paradox is what allows them to remain steadfast in their calling, even when faced with challenges that might otherwise overwhelm them. Detachment does not mean indifference or a lack of care. On the contrary, the chosen ones often feel a profound love for the world and its people. This love drives them to act, to guide, to heal, and to inspire. However, their love is rooted in something eternal, not in the transient concerns of the material world. They understand that true transformation comes from focusing on what is lasting and significant, rather than becoming consumed by the immediate and superficial. This perspective allows them to approach their mission with clarity and purpose, unaffected by the noise and distractions that can cloud the judgment of others. This sense of detachment also protects the chosen ones from the pitfalls of pride, envy, and fear. When one is overly attached to the opinions of others or the rewards of the world, it becomes easy to lose sight of the greater purpose. The chosen ones recognize that their mission is not about seeking validation, accumulating power, or achieving personal glory. Their work is not for themselves, but for a higher purpose that transcends their individual desires. This detachment allows them to remain humble, to focus on their calling without being swayed by ego or self-interest. At the same time, this detachment enables them to endure hardship with grace and resilience. The chosen ones often face rejection, misunderstanding, and even hostility as they pursue their mission. If they were overly attached to acceptance or comfort, these challenges could discourage or defeat them. Instead, their detachment allows them to persevere, knowing that their work is not dependent on immediate results or external approval. They find strength in their connection to their calling, rather than in the shifting opinions of those around them. Yet, this detachment does not mean isolation. The chosen ones are deeply connected to the world, but their connection is purposeful and intentional. They engage with others not to conform or to seek belonging, but to bring light, truth, and transformation. Their detachment allows them to see clearly, to act wisely, and to remain grounded in their mission, even amidst chaos and confusion. The ongoing call of the sutra is to be present with all. It allows them to see clearly, to act wisely, and to remain grounded in their mission, even amidst chaos and confusion. Heaven. This text talks about the different paths they have taken. This text talks about the different paths they have taken. Heaven. Exhale. Heaven higher. Heaven higher. Heaven higher. Heaven higher. Heaven higher. Heaven. Ultimately, the chosen ones understand that detachment is not about withdrawing from life, but about rising above its distractions. It is a way of aligning themselves with their higher purpose, ensuring that their actions are guided by truth rather than by fleeting concerns. This balance of connection and detachment is what enables them to walk their path with integrity, courage, and unwavering focus, fulfilling their mission in a way that leaves a lasting impact on the world. The chosen ones are often entrusted with a purpose that demands an extraordinary level of trust, not only in themselves but in the unseen forces that guide their journey. This trust is both a challenge and a necessity, as their path is rarely clear or predictable. They are called to walk by faith, relying on their inner conviction and the guidance of a higher power to navigate uncertainties, obstacles, and moments of doubt. Trust becomes their anchor, keeping them grounded even when the world around them seems chaotic and uncertain. This trust begins with an acceptance of their calling. The chosen ones must believe that they have been set apart for a reason, even when they feel inadequate or unprepared. This belief is not rooted in arrogance, but in humility, as they recognize that their purpose is larger than themselves. They understand that they are instruments of something greater, and this awareness compels them to surrender their fears and insecurities to the guidance of their higher purpose. Trusting in their calling allows them to move forward with courage, even when the path ahead is unclear. The journey of the chosen ones is often marked by challenges that test this trust. There are times when progress feels slow, when obstacles feel insurmountable, or when the weight of their responsibility feels overwhelming. In these moments, it can be tempting to give in to doubt or to seek easier, more conventional paths. However, the chosen ones must remember that their journey is not about immediate results or external validation. Their purpose is unfolding according to a divine plan, one that they may not always understand, but must trust implicitly. This trust also requires patience. The chosen ones often find that the timing of their mission is beyond their control. They may face delays, setbacks, or periods of waiting that challenge their resolve. Yet, these moments of stillness are not wasted. They are opportunities for growth, reflection, and preparation. Trusting in the timing of their journey allows the chosen ones to embrace these periods with grace, knowing that every step, even the ones that feel stagnant, is part of the greater plan. Furthermore, this trust extends to the chosen one's relationship with others. Their calling often requires them to inspire, guide, or serve those around them, even in the face of skepticism or resistance. Trusting in their purpose means continuing to act with integrity and compassion, regardless of how their efforts are received. It means believing that their work will have an impact, even if they cannot immediately see the fruits of their labor. Ultimately, trust is the foundation upon which the chosen ones build their journey. It is a trust that transcends fear, doubt, and uncertainty, allowing them to remain steadfast in their mission. By surrendering to the guidance of their higher purpose, they find the strength to persevere, the wisdom to navigate challenges, and the peace to accept what they cannot control. This trust is not a sign of weakness, but of profound faith, enabling the chosen ones to fulfill their calling with courage, clarity, and unwavering dedication. The chosen ones often face an internal struggle that is not immediately visible to the outside world, a struggle to balance their own desires and ambitions with the higher purpose they have been called to fulfill. This internal conflict can be subtle but profound, manifesting in moments of doubt, hesitation, and self-reflection. They are human after all, and as such they wrestle with the same fears, insecurities, and temptations that others do. Yet, the key difference lies in their ability to confront these internal battles and transcend them, aligning their actions with the greater good they are meant to serve. The internal struggle of the chosen ones often begins with a question of worthiness. They may wonder if they are truly capable of fulfilling the extraordinary task that has been set before them. The weight of their calling can feel overwhelming, and they may question whether they are deserving of such a responsibility. This doubt is a natural part of the process, as it forces them to confront their own limitations and fears. However, the chosen ones learn to see these doubts not as barriers, but as opportunities for growth. By acknowledging their insecurities and working through them, they develop a deeper sense of humility and strength, understanding that their worth is not determined by their abilities alone, but by the purpose they serve. Another facet of this internal struggle involves the temptation to seek personal gain or recognition. The world often values success, status, and achievement, and the chosen ones are not immune to these temptations. They may be drawn to the allure of worldly rewards, prestige, wealth, or admiration. However, they must learn to resist these distractions, recognizing that their calling is not about personal glory, but about something far greater. This requires them to continuously realign their motivations, ensuring that their actions are driven by the desire to serve others rather than to seek validation for themselves. It is a difficult but necessary part of the journey, as the chosen ones must prioritize their mission over the fleeting rewards of the material world. Additionally, the internal struggle involves reconciling the demands of the external world with the inner truth that guides them. The chosen ones are often called to act in ways that are counter to societal norms or expectations, which can lead to feelings of isolation or rejection. This dissonance between what they know to be true and what the world expects of them can create inner turmoil. Yet, the chosen ones learn to trust in their inner compass, understanding that their mission is not to conform, but to transform. They recognize that their role is not to be popular or accepted by all, but to remain true to the higher calling they have been entrusted with, even when it means standing alone. Ultimately, this internal struggle is a process of refinement. It is through facing these inner battles that the chosen ones grow in wisdom, resilience, and clarity. They learn to navigate the complexities of their own desires and fears, ultimately finding peace in their commitment to a purpose that transcends their individual wants. Through this process, they become stronger, more focused, and more aligned with the mission they are meant to fulfill. The internal struggle is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to their willingness to confront the challenges within themselves in order to fulfill a higher calling. The chosen ones are often called to embark on a journey that involves sacrifice, a relinquishing of their own desires, comforts, and sometimes even personal relationships in order to fulfill a higher calling. This sacrifice is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process, a series of decisions that continually challenge them to put the greater good ahead of their own. The path they walk is not easy, and it often requires them to give up what others might consider normal or desirable. Yet, it is through these sacrifices that the chosen ones are refined, discovering the depth of their commitment and the true nature of their mission. The sacrifice of personal comfort is perhaps one of the most challenging aspects of their journey. The world often encourages the pursuit of comfort, material wealth, social status, and personal satisfaction. However, the chosen ones are called to live with a different set of priorities. They must be willing to endure hardship, to work tirelessly without immediate reward, and to embrace discomfort in order to fulfill their mission. This may mean forgoing luxuries, giving up personal time, or enduring emotional pain. The sacrifices they make are not about self-denial for the sake of denial, but are purposeful and intentional, directed towards a higher goal. In addition to personal comfort, the chosen ones often have to sacrifice relationships. This can be one of the most painful aspects of their journey. As they pursue their calling, they may find that not everyone around them understands or supports their path. Friends, family, or even colleagues may criticize or distance themselves from them because of the changes they undergo. This can create feelings of loneliness and alienation, but it is part of the process of transformation. The chosen ones must learn to navigate these relationships, recognizing that their path may not always align with the expectations of others. While they may mourn the loss of certain connections, they must also understand that their mission requires them to move forward, even if it means leaving behind people who cannot accompany them on this journey. The sacrifice of personal desires is another critical aspect of the chosen one's path. There are times when they must set aside their own wishes, plans, and dreams in order to serve a higher purpose. This may involve making difficult choices, such as prioritizing the needs of others over personal ambitions, or letting go of aspirations that no longer align with their mission. The chosen ones are not immune to the temptation to seek personal gain or success, but they are called to resist it, focusing instead on the work they have been given to do. This sacrifice is not easy, and it requires a deep sense of selflessness and commitment to the greater good. However, the sacrifices the chosen ones make are not without reward. These sacrifices allow them to become more in tune with their true purpose, shedding the layers of self-interest that would otherwise cloud their vision. Through sacrifice, they gain clarity and strength, learning that the true rewards of their journey are not material or external, but spiritual and internal. Their sacrifices deepen their understanding of what truly matters, and they are ultimately transformed by the very act of giving up what they once held dear. The path of sacrifice is not for everyone, but for the chosen ones, it is a necessary part of their journey. It is through their willingness to give up personal comforts, relationships, and desires that they become the vessels through which transformation can occur. Their sacrifices shape them into the individuals they are meant to be, and it is through their sacrifice that they are able to fulfill the higher purpose they have been called to serve. Beyond this, they reach the extraordinary state of eternal wakefulness. The journey of the chosen ones is often one of solitude. While they may be surrounded by people, they frequently find themselves on a path that requires a certain level of isolation. This solitude is not always a choice, but rather a necessity, driven by their unique mission and the nature of their calling. It is in these moments of solitude that they are able to reflect, gain clarity, and connect with the deeper aspects of their purpose. While the world around them may be noisy and chaotic, the chosen ones learn that they must often retreat inwardly to find the strength and guidance needed to move forward. Solitude allows the chosen ones to tune out the distractions of the world and focus on their inner truth. The external world is full of noise, opinions, judgments, expectations, and pressures that can easily drown out the voice of their higher calling. It is in solitude that they are able to listen more clearly to their inner guidance and reconnect with the reason they were chosen in the first place. Without solitude, it would be easy to become lost in the demands of everyday life and lose sight of their mission. The isolation they experience allows them to reflect on their journey, reassess their choices, and recalibrate their actions in alignment with their purpose. This solitude also helps the chosen ones grow in self-awareness. By spending time alone, they are able to confront their fears, insecurities, and doubts. In the absence of external validation or approval, they must rely on their own inner strength and conviction. This process can be uncomfortable, as it often involves facing parts of themselves that they would prefer to ignore. However, it is in these moments of vulnerability that they are able to cultivate greater self-understanding and resilience. Solitude becomes a space where they can process their emotions, heal from past wounds, and prepare themselves for the challenges ahead. And quote, "The sound of the sorcerer rising music shifts from the challenges ahead to the. At the same time, the chosen ones must learn to embrace this solitude without becoming overwhelmed by loneliness. It is natural to crave connection and companionship, especially when the journey feels long and difficult. However, the chosen ones must come to understand that their path is one that requires a certain level of detachment. They are not meant to be surrounded by people all the time, as their mission requires them to step outside the norms and expectations of society. This detachment does not mean they are abandoning others, but rather that they are focusing on what they must do, even if it means walking alone for a while. Over time, they come to realize that their solitude is not a punishment, but a vital part of their transformation. Through this solitude, the chosen ones find the strength to keep moving forward. It is in the quiet moments of isolation that they are able to reconnect with their inner purpose, allowing them to step back into the world with renewed focus and clarity. Solitude becomes a sanctuary where they can recharge, reflect, and prepare for the next phase of their journey. It is in these moments of solitude that they find the courage to continue their mission, no matter how difficult the path may seem. Ultimately, the solitude of the chosen ones is not a sign of weakness or loneliness, but a powerful tool for personal growth and clarity. It is in these moments of quiet reflection that they are able to gain the strength, wisdom, and insight necessary to fulfill their higher purpose. While the path may often seem solitary, the chosen ones learn that it is through solitude that they are able to connect with the deepest parts of themselves and with the greater purpose they are called to serve.